What's going on, Junkies? Welcome back to Culture Junkies Live. I am Kenshiro. This is the Great Dadakuji. This is GQ. This is Simon Says. And there's another guy over there, a little bit light bright, with Batman right next to him. It's Megashawn. What's up, sir?
Not much. I'm being attacked by Raleigh at the moment.
Yeah, you can.
Right, you might want to turn one of them lights off.
Right, man. You little too light skinned there, sir.
I didn't put me here.
No, you the one that's right in front of you. Grab the little controller there and the light,
the little
dangly thing on the right hand side. The light that's next
light.
to you. The circle light. That one.
Yeah.
Reach down there. You'll find the controls.
The little dangly
hit the little minus button, and it'll turn you down. Turn you down. There you go. Turn them down. Don't turn them up. Turn them down. Want to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you all for being here. Today we're going to be talking about Ironheart. The first 3 episodes just dropped last night. Pretty much everybody has watched them all. But we're also going to talk about the reception to it, our thoughts to it, and also I got a list of 5 rules. If you're going to critique this show, these are 5 things you cannot use to critique.
It should be almost every show.
It should be.
When
and
watching
actually,
anything.
if we can come together as a group and finesse these rules, maybe we can come up with a nice baseline of people to critique their stuff from. Because once you hear these 5 rules, if you mention anything, your critique is automatically invalid. And I got a fun little question, but
Nullified.
Yeah, nullified. I love that. But first, to break the ice a little bit, to get the show a little bit started. So, real quick, Megashawn and I on Monday went to go see Jurassic World Rebirth.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something because you said rebirth, and I wanted to use something, an analogy to where the movie should have been put.
Where the movie should have been put?
Yeah.
Elaborate. Can you elaborate?
I don't know if I should say it or not.
It's not gonna be spoilers, is it?
No, it has nothing to do with spoilers because I think you told me a little bit about the movie.
Yeah,
it could be offensive to some people.
All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Who cares about being offensive in this climate?
Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Jurassic World Rebirth, and I was like, based on what you told me, maybe it should have been aborted.
That's not offensive to me.
That's not really offensive, though. In my opinion,
it could be to some people.
It's not really.
It could be to some people.
Because the movie wasn't bad. You said what?
It wasn't bad.
You said what? What?
You said the movie wasn't bad either.
The movie wasn't. So yeah. I mean, non-spoiler thoughts, Megashawn. If you were to talk about this movie, there's been 7 now, Jurassic Park movies.
For sure.
Where would you rank it, and is this worth paying to go and see?
I think so. I enjoyed it.
This guy. This guy.
Yeah, so we enjoyed it. I would put it. Yeah, me and Bruce. I would put it probably above any of the ones with
Chris Pratt?
With Chris Pratt.
Wait,
really?
Chris Pratt wasn't in this one?
No, he was not.
Wait, but what?
No,
I thought this was the Chris Pratt trilogy.
Nope. The trilogy ended with the last one.
Oh wait, there was 3 Chris Pratts?
3 of us, yes.
There was 3 Chris Pratts. Sorry.
I think that's what the rebirth is for. It's restarting and trying to remove that. You know, the ones with Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill.
Mm-hmm.
The one with Vince Vaughn. You know, you can give or take. But
Vince Vaughn.
He was in the
third one?
second one.
Yeah, I didn't think it
Lost
was
World.
bad. Right. Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. There was a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
And I don't think it dragged a little bit. The people that were supposed to be annoying were annoying. But yeah, now would I spend $50 to take the whole family to see it? Probably not. But would I myself?
Oh.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I didn't think it was definitely didn't need to be aborted.
Fallen Marvel, hello to you, sir. There's a little bit of a technical thing I got to come over there and help solve, so I will go over there and actually deal with that in a minute. I'll give my quick thoughts on the movie. It was in my opinion, it wasn't a bad movie, right? If you want to go see it,
man to abort the movie.
what? No, he said that. I didn't say that.
The
I didn't tell him
The
that.
impressions I got of what you said, you weren't impressed.
Based on your
It
words,
wasn't an awesome movie.
that is the conclusion he came to based off what you told
Nothing
me.
that I told you. If you took it that way, nothing I told you said abort this movie.
It kind of felt like you didn't like it. Not that it was a bad movie, that you didn't like it.
And then when he said, "Is that offensive?" You let it slide. Bruce, what? He said you GD well let it slide.
May as well go fix the mic.
Okay.
But anyway, I may have taken what he said not to. I thought it sounded like he said he didn't like it, and personally, it might have been through my lens because after the Jeff Goldblum / what's my man Sam Neill's, I stopped watching Jurassic Park. In fact, I think I stopped watching after the second one because I was not. No, which one would they made the T-Rex went to New York?
That was the third one.
That was the second one.
Yeah, that was the one. With
Wait,
Vince
what's
Vaughn.
the second one?
The one you
Lost
just said
World.
with the T-Rex
Lost World.
Vince
Lost World.
Vaughn.
I didn't see that one.
You just said you saw it.
Is that a Chris Pratt one?
No.
Oh, wait,
That's like-
I'm confused then.
Chris Pratt is like
that was
4.
Wait, hold on, time out. Okay. You said that's the second one?
Yes.
Pardon me.
Wait. Okay. So when they went to New York, that's when I stopped watching because I didn't think that one was that. Where that little girl got eaten up on the beach?
Huh? What the hell are you
By those-
talking
by
about?
those-
By those
compies. By those compies? Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was. Yeah, I believe that was 2 or
If that
two.
was
That was
part
2.
2,
Yeah.
that one
That was in Los Angeles, man.
Oh, so that was Los Angeles, not New York?
Yeah, no.
Damn, I'm switching up that in King
Yeah,
Kong.
man.
Oh, was it Godzilla? I have no idea.
Let's end the show now.
No.
What
Let's not
I'm
even
getting
get
at-
No.
What I'm getting at is that Jurassic Park to me felt like it fell off. Now I did watch the first Chris Pratt one,
Okay.
and it just felt like an action movie with dinosaurs in it. It didn't feel like because if you think about it, the first Jurassic Park movie was kind of a survival horror because they didn't have any way to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Shit was new, and they were trying to make sure they got out. Right?
So not to interrupt.
Yeah.
But to interrupt.
Okay.
That is what this one is.
Okay. Survival horror. Back
It's
to
a
survival horror.
It has a bit of comedy, but it covers just about everything except romance.
All right. Well, then maybe I'll watch it, but I didn't see the second Chris or the third Chris Pratt one. I didn't know it was a
You
third
didn't
Chris
see
Pratt
the
one.
second or the third one.
I don't
either.
remember.
So the second was good. The third was, it was all right. So, but for me, to correct the impression that I apparently gave you, it was an enjoyable movie, but largely it was paint by numbers. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't like, if I was to rank
say
it,
that.
yeah, right. I said it was paint by numbers.
That's what I said. It probably went through my lens.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Does paint by numbers infer I want you to abort this movie?
No.
Thank you.
It definitely doesn't.
That makes it sound like it's formulaic and simple.
Yeah.
And it was. And it was that. It
Maybe I
absolutely was
forgot
that.
what he said and just heard, I ain't like this movie. This movie trash. This shit. You shouldn't go see it.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like you projected your feelings onto me.
I might have.
Might have done
That's
that.
what I said. It might have
But
went through my
in any
lens.
case, I think it's if it's a good time at the movie theaters. It's not going to be oh my god, the greatest thing ever. Scarlett Johansson is enjoyable. Mahershala was enjoyable.
Wait, what?
The way people were being stupid humans was
They were stupid.
they were stupid humans
for sure.
100%.
that
Nothing
WB?
nothing unoriginal happened in this film. It's a good time, so paying for it.
Who put it out?
What do you mean who put it out?
Yeah. Who is the distributor or the studio behind it?
Universal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's
So it'll
always
be
been
on
Universal.
Peacock soon.
Yeah. So I mean, so
It'll be on Peacock like
you
2
could-
weeks.
I mean, you could wait. You could go to the
Yeah.
movie theaters. It's not going to be a bad time, a bad use of your money, but it's not going to be terrible
I'll
either.
Peacock it.
All right, a couple of things. Where did you guys see it at, first off?
AMC Livonia.
Big screen, IMAX, or anything, or what?
No IMAX.
Is it worth IMAX or any of that good stuff?
Nah, in my opinion,
That's
no, it's not.
disturbing. Then the other thing, and this is probably to Megashawn because I know he's seen the film. When I first saw the trailer, compared it to Congo. Is that accurate, sir? As you've changed your look.
Congo.
No, it is definitely.
Oh my God.
It is definitely better than Congo.
Oh boy.
But I will tell you, watching anything with Tim Curry in it,
Oh,
I'm gonna let
yeah.
slide
Yeah.
just because it's Tim Curry.
It's Tim
But
Curry.
it's most definitely better than Congo. And it's got an
That don't take
amazing
a lot.
spoiler in it that I want to give away. but I don't because the movie technically isn't even out yet.
I get you on that, but what I'm saying is when I compare it to Congo, I'm talking about the structure. They literally seem to have the same cast structure and people in place. Black dude that knows the jungle or knows the island or knows whatever they need to go to, and he's gonna be the one that's gonna help save the day type deal, which is Ernie Hudson's role, who Mahershala is stepping into. Obviously, I don't know what Scarlett Johansson. I guess she was the scientist.
No.
Or is she the adventurer?
She was the she was the badass expert.
So she's the adventurer,
yes.
which basically kind of is the role that Ernie Hudson had, but it's kind of
I'm gonna be
split
honest.
So, like I said, to me, this feels like the Congo framework. Just obviously, you're not taking a gorilla back to the wild or anything.
So I will tell you this: Scarlett Johansson was Natasha without the accent.
Which is fine. I mean, again, she's very good at playing those roles.
Natasha,
Romanoff, when she first started, had
when she first started, that accent dropped within like the first 5 minutes.
Just like Elizabeth Olsen, hers dropped like
she brings it back here and there when she remembers to actually do the accent, but whatever. Yeah. In any case, if I was to rank these, I'd probably put it in the middle. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not a great movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But to your point, in regards to Congo and that structure, and then even to Kenshiro's in paint by numbers, like it took what works and then it put it on film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So as he said, they didn't go out of their way to do anything crazy, but and then I didn't have to deal with no love interest. So that
they
was
teased
great.
it a little bit, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, but it wasn't there. So definitely worth. It's $12.
Now,
you got time to kill. By all means.
Last thing I will say on this, Megashawn and I both, near the end of that film, we was about to be really mad, and then they didn't do what we thought they was going to do. So I will leave it at that. I will leave it at that.
And
that's
my
all.
son enjoyed it.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
he had a good time. Yeah. Sosa had a really good time.
Thoroughly
boy
himself.
was talking damn near all throughout the movie, but he was mostly talking to me because he knew his dad was going to be like, "Shut up, boy."
And he definitely doesn't have a inside the theater voice. Like he just
no,
talks.
he does not.
Like, hey, bro, you gotta
whisper.
Right. I was like inside voice. Gotta use your inside voice.
That comes with age.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
all right. Let's move on. You want to do something fun? Or you want to get to Ironheart?
The whole show's supposed to be fun.
It is going to be fun, but this is going to be a nice, fun, diversionary topic that I think everybody out there in the audience can get involved with as well.
All right, go ahead.
All right, cool. Switch to the image scene. So I found this online, and I need you guys the media scene. Sorry. One movie must be wiped from existence of these 9: Superman the movie, The Dark Knight, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Joker, The Batman, Wonder Woman, The Suicide Squad, Man of Steel, or Batman v Superman. Which of these films should be wiped from existence altogether? If you had to choose, I'll start with you. Go ahead, Dino. Which one? It
is extremely hard to decipher the supposed greatness out of all of them. There's only one movie I would really consider that doesn't fall in the same category as being really good, because everything could put that back up there.
Hey, I got you.
Put that back up there for me, because I gotta go one through one. Go me one by one.
I'm sorry.
So like Superman is great for his time.
Yep.
And it's very much enjoyable. And it's probably, even though people like to put Batman and or all of them kicked off the comic book movies because they said it can be done, and they did that, and they were struggling a lot to bring out other comic book movies until they did Batman. Dark Knight, can't get rid of. Justice League, I mean, get rid of the goddamn singing girls. They're all wet over Aquaman.
Yeah.
They were just super wet. I mean, out of all the movies that I've seen there, I enjoyed every single one of them, except for kind of Batman v Superman. And the only reason why Batman v Superman falls into that category of not as enjoyable even as Man of Steel is because it didn't make sense. Like, you're supposed to, what did I say earlier? Suspend your disbelief or whatever.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with disbelief in Batman v Superman, because I don't think there was enough reason for Batman to hate Superman at that point, because it wasn't Superman. So I personally, just trying to diatribe, pull along, get it out there.
Batman v Superman.
I think it would have to be Batman v Superman because why'd you say that name?
I love that.
Yeah.
Simon says, which one would you wipe?
Batman v Superman.
Oh damn! Not no hesitation.
Okay.
Well, he's had the benefit of the time to actually think about it a little bit.
No,
and break it down.
I mean, no. Dude.
Go ahead.
You literally Gotham is like right across the street from fucking Metropolis.
And you never heard of the Batman?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
I literally, he could walk across to Gotham. That's
all right.
dumb.
GQ.
Joker.
OG Joker?
OG Joker. I didn't like either Joker movie, and I'll be 100% honest. And again, I may have thrown on my own expectations as to finally getting an R-rated Joker, thinking that Hollywood was going to give me an R-rated Joker. Only problem is we got an origin, which is fine. Or Joker's, as we all know, is not really supposed to have an origin per se. He was supposed to be multiple choice. But for them to do what they did in the first one, and then they basically just was like, you know what, let's just do Taxi Driver, which
it was. It is what it is,
and that's fine. But for you to turn the second one after you build all that, it's like, okay, this dude's crazy. We finally got there. Let's do a musical. And it's just like, bro. So to me, the first one was like, it's a throwaway because you didn't even follow up on what you set up. And again, Joker has bombed school children. Joker has he basically faked his own death so he could get all his charges dropped so he could walk the street the next day. Like, Joker is a insane force of nature.
Yeah.
And you finally put an R rating on him, and that's all you give me?
One thing, real quick, before you guys, I just want to add on to it because I did not watch Cordon Bleu or whatever the hell it was called.
Cordon Bleu. I love it.
That's fair.
That's what it'll be from now on.
That's what Joker,
Cordon Bleu.
There you go.
I didn't watch it, but I heard that the director didn't want to do it. So
he didn't.
So he tanked it on purpose.
Yes, he did.
Like, he said he did all that stuff literally because he didn't want to do it. He wanted that one shot, and that was supposed to be it. And they were like, no, make money.
He made $1 billion. You need to make me another one.
So we're saying that. That's the only reason why I would not pull the Joker, because the Joker, I don't need to debate. I don't need to tell you why.
No. Just say what you think, though.
I was just gonna say it's because I enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
More so,
that's
than Batman versus Superman.
And that's
like
fine.
I'm not trying to compare it, and that's why I said I shouldn't say anything because
your reasons are your reasons.
Exactly.
Your reasons are your reasons.
Like I said, for me, stuff I've seen the Joker do in the comics, knowing what he's done in games and stuff, it's like you're finally going to give me some of that, and they were just like,
I wish they would have given more.
All right, so I think we're gonna go like 3 for 3, but I want to hear what he got to say. Megatron, which would you pick?
There is only one choice here.
Which is
that fucking Joker movie.
I hear you.
They Can Fly. Put it back up, please.
right.
Put the list up.
Well, it might cover it.
Yeah.
It's going to
That's
switch
fine.
to that. Yeah.
One can fly. One's me. One has me. One is a fake version of my nemesis. One's me. One's a chick I used to bang. One's a bunch of guys who wish they were me. One's got Kal-El, and then one's got me in it again. There is no question that the movie that does not belong is the one that doesn't have me in it. So get that trash out of here. 1, 2, that abomination of 2 ruins 1. And then the fact that, again, none of us,
That's hilarious.
not Kal-El, not Wonder Woman, not anybody. There's just this imposter of my nemesis running around shooting TV hosts for no reason. An abomination is what that movie is. Anything that doesn't have me in it, an abomination. How do you have him and then you don't have me? Swear to me!
Well, on
You know
top of
what?
that,
Why'd you say that name?
Honestly,
well, on top of that, the abomination of your nemesis puts his fingers in your mouth. That was just out of hand weird. I'm just
yeah, that was straight out of
bro,
pocket.
you got
man.
that close to Wayne Manor. First off, secondly, you got to basically touch Bruce Wayne as a kid. It's like,
That too.
like what part of Gotham?
At least he didn't feed him no Jolly Rancher.
I guess, yeah. Oh,
At least he didn't feed him no
goodness.
Jolly
That too.
Rancher.
Oh,
Anyway, I don't even have to follow that up. Y'all, I'm going to pick Joker because as much as I as much as I did not like Batman v Superman, it still was somewhat enjoyable, right?
Yeah, why'd you say that name?
That was the only, well, that amongst other things kind of took me out of it, but it still was enjoyable. Joker was just, you know? It was just
bring it back. Bring it back.
Go ahead.
Bring it back.
It was
The
just,
fact that you two would choose a movie where I gave you the best 10 fucking seconds of your lives on the screen. You see me come through that
best
wood.
live action,
Gatling. I had my grapple. Boom.
Best
Guy
Batman
into
ever?
the floor. That's me.
best Batman ever.
That's me.
That scene
Swear to
right
me.
there
That's me.
was some of the best.
I gave you all I had.
Best Batman fight scene
Yeah.
in a Batman movie.
Best Batman fight
I would
scene
have
was
to
that,
agree
yeah.
with that. But why'd you say that name?
but-
Okay. I can't even. I meet people with that name Martha, and they look at me strange.
It's just PTSD whenever you hear Mark.
Because
It's funny.
They be like, where I'm at, where I sell drugs at, they give me their name, and if their name happens to be Martha, I go, why'd you say that name? And they just look at me like,
you got these old white ladies with the name Martha, and they're coming up, and you just like, why'd you say that's
like,
my
why'd
name?
you say that name?
That's my name, though.
Oh gosh.
And again,
Oh my God.
And again, I don't want to like.
That's funny.
Because again, we could turn this into a whole show.
We
I
We
mean,
absolutely
but-
could. Oh my
but
God.
That honestly, in theater, when we all went to go see it,
Yeah.
that moment took me out of it because we had again,
it's
we were
exactly
all
too.
like I said, we were all enjoying the Arkham tribute and the, like I said, the grappling and all the
Everything.
fight. That was great. Then as soon as you get to that point, you're like,
Why'd you
y'all
say
just
that
took
name?
all that goodwill
And just
and
threw it
just
out.
threw it out the
They
window.
threw it out.
So I went. It's funny enough. I went to go see it with Waffles. We left the movie. We was like, "Yo, man, we didn't know, man." We was like, "How do we not know that both moms?"
You just never thought about it.
We didn't think
You
about
never
it.
thought about it? Nobody
No,
ever
I knew
thought
that
about
shit,
it.
but still, no.
Nobody
Why would you
thinks
say
about
it?
No,
though.
we were like, we looked at each other. We was like, dude, it's just like one of those like moments.
Yeah, just because
Again,
nobody
and
thinks about that stuff.
I've even brought this up amongst different people I've talked to, and I think all of us being melanated here on this set. How many of y'all call your mom by her first name?
Never.
Yeah.
No, doesn't happen.
But
So-
I mean, he does call her.
I don't even think I've said my mom's
I
name
get that.
in talking to somebody else about my mom. She's
It's
mom.
always my mom. Yeah.
Only time I've
exactly.
ever used my mom's first name is somebody, another basically at the time grown up, asked, "What is your mom's first name?"
Yeah.
Other than that, it's
Yeah,
mom,
that's different.
ma, whatever whatever your nickname or whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like that was just weird. This is like his mother's name is Martha, but no, his mother's name is Mom.
Yeah.
Right.
For most
No,
everybody.
100%,
So that was
man.
just weird to me. And then like you said, to that point, if he's that rageful, all of a sudden that's the one thing that's going to turn. It's like, bro, you broke into another billionaire's lab to get this stuff to take him out.
Yeah.
You're good now because he said your mom's name.
If
That was-
anything, wouldn't that make him even more rageful in a way?
that could be too.
I mean, but I digress. For
said-
some people, when they heard that, why did you say that name? They started laughing in the theater. They were just
Absolutely.
like, "This is okay. This is ridiculous."
Absolutely. It got to a weird space.
It was like all the emotional, dramatic tension, and they just literally popped a balloon and deflated it, just like that. I digress.
I would like to say one thing too.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was- well, this was funny because like I was in the middle of like, soon as the Snyder cut came out,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna watch it, and I was like, I asked my wife to, "Hey, do you want to watch this movie?" She's like, "Yeah." Okay, and then I told her,
How was she doing after like
No. I told before I started, she was gonna sit down. I said, "Well, just to let you know, it's gonna be 8 hours." She said, "You have fun with that."
He's exaggerated. It was only 4 hours, but still.
that was a
That's
long
still a lot.
That was
That's
a long
still a lot.
four hours.
Anyway,
Hold on,
guys,
we got the man on set. Let's ask him why did you suddenly break down? What happened? Hesitated?
Yeah.
I was shook. I heard my mama's name and I got shook.
Any other time, like I told our man, he blinked. In that moment, when that name was said,
Yeah.
it was I that blinked.
Oh, fair
It's
enough.
weird. So anyway, I thought that was a fun little diversion, fun little exercise. I found others that I want to bring to you guys' attention, so we'll save that one for next week, possibly. So come back next week and we'll have another fun exercise. It seems like everybody is saying Batman v Superman probably takes the cake. Although I did see the other Steve say, without hesitation, Joker needs to go.
Well, I think, again, and I don't want to keep it going too long. I think the reason Batman v Superman gets to stay for me is the action sequence, obviously. You can throw Luthor away. I could not stand Eisenberg's Luther as
Oh,
Luther. Because I'm like, bro,
Terrible.
it's like you're not intimidating
Terrible.
at all. You're not even presenting as intelligent.
He's tech intimidating. I mean, come on. We
He's
got
just weird.
We got real life tech evil super villains in the world today.
I know, absolutely. He's Elon Musk for real
Yeah.
now. But Granny's Peach Tea, man, come on, bro. That was
That
weird.
weird. No, that was totally weird.
The coolest thing you did is blew my man up with that wheelchair. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's ice cool. And blew Mercy up too.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, that was cool.
Yeah, there's so many problems with that movie, but it still gets to stay over Joker. Joker was just an abomination.
Joker. The only
never
reason
should've been
you
made.
didn't like it is because of the expectation.
No, and again,
you were
like I said, that's
expecting
me.
a joke, and I know, and
Yeah.
I'm not debating that at all. It's the expectations. When I looked at your Joker, I was like, he may not be Joker, but it was a well put together movie.
Yeah.
And my man did win an Oscar for his performance.
No, I hated Joker because it was a ripoff of 3 better movies.
I mean I'm not disagreeing with you,
Okay.
but it was still
that's
it
why
was,
I
I
hated
thought
it.
it was still a pretty
Yeah.
decent.
No, the expectations
together
thing is
movie.
definitely my
And
fault.
nobody
MK
said
Pryor is right too, because
What?
like, dude, how can you? He's holding kryptonite and
Yeah.
he's still flying.
Yeah. Well,
Whatever.
A lot of that
Exactly.
stuff to me
Hey, look,
just
look. Brandon Routh Superman floated up into the sky with
Yeah,
a kryptonite
yeah,
island.
yeah,
I don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
It was what's the word when something's not strong? Not strong.
It wasn't potent.
diluted.
Yeah, it was diluted.
It was very much
It
diluted.
was totally diluted. Yes.
Yeah, I mean maybe it was mixed with lead.
That kryptonite spear wasn't.
No,
No, it was mixed with Sunstone.
I don't even understand how he knew in that movie Kryptonite would do anything to this guy. That's what I'm saying. It was just whatever. We don't need.
It's just like Superman.
It's a logical
1.
fallacy.
Superman 1. It was like Lex Luthor was like, okay,
figured it
so
out.
when the stuff blows up debris
Mm-hmm.
and it gets radiated, it's like, bro,
Yeah, they
where's
just
the leap in logic? You just suddenly just go, okay, so
You're
part of
saying
his planet came down. It's gonna
You
hurt
just
him.
knew it was going to kill him? Like, you had no real clue it was going to.
Are we going to Addis Ababa,
Mr.
Mr.
Luthor?
Luthor?
Yeah, anyway. Superman is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see that in a couple of weeks with you guys. Early premieres are going on right now. Ironheart came out today. Oh, yeah, actually, you know what? Pause the show. First and foremost, Fallen Marvel is watching over on YouTube. All of us here at the Culture Junkies, to our fellow brother, we want to say congratulations to you on getting married.
Congratulations.
That was a happy
sir.
day for you, sir.
To your
we
nuptials.
we know you guys are still hanging in there, but staying together, staying strong as a solid family unit. Blessings to you, brother. Can't wait to have you back on the show, too, by the way. All right, let's get to Ironheart. Ironheart, the first 3 episodes dropped today. The next 3 episodes are going to drop next week. A lot has been said about this show by the usual suspects. They came out and they review bombed it. That got the audience score down to 32% earlier today. Rotten Tomatoes automatically rescinded a lot of those because they were
Malicious.
submitted before the show even came out. So they took those away. The reviews have been mixed, but for the most part have been positive, which I think for a lot of people is somewhat confusing because it sat on the shelf for 3 years and people are wondering, well, it must have been bad and that's why they sat on it. It's probably more complicated than that, but let's hear what everybody else has to say about the show.
Wait, sorry. They filmed all that stuff 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like filmed like 3 years. It's been sitting on the shelf for a long time.
Oh, wow.
So we don't know why it sat on the shelf. Bob Iger might have just said, hey, we need to slow things down, and they already had things on the schedule, and Ironheart was just on the shelf.
I mean, the only reason why I'm questioning the 3 years, not questioning you or anything, because it's surprising me, because it felt like a TV show. Watching it, it didn't feel like they filmed a movie and cut it up like all the rest of them up until Daredevil, because Daredevil felt like a TV show.
Right.
And this also feels like a TV show. Like it has stuff that happens in each episode that does transfer over, but it's not like, okay, we're going to cut it right here. And then, I thought I like it.
It's good.
I'm really enjoying what I'm watching. I laughed a little bit, and I'm like, wow, that's some deep shit. And just seeing Riri, because she's not just a simple character as what may be portrayed in Black Panther. She has a little bit complex to her. They gave her some complex shit that's going on with her that she has to deal with, and not only, multitude of complex stuff that she has to deal with, which is interesting and makes a character more complex in my honest opinion. What makes them interesting. So I like the show. Wish it was a little bit more than 6 episodes. That's okay. because I'm gonna be there for all 6 of them.
Okay. Simon says you've seen all 3. Yes.
I just saw the third one.
The third one.
Yeah, I came in with.
But okay, can you give your honest thoughts on the show, even though you've only seen like the third episode?
Well, it was okay. I mean, from what I saw, kind of like it just reminds me like what was it? The Ant-Man, like the heist thing.
Because
The
they're
first
doing
Ant-Man,
heists and
they're
shit.
doing all that stuff. Now, interesting part was the end. I'm not going to spoil the end, but if I think how they're going to do it, it's going to be kind of interesting. The person they're bringing in. The villain that they might bring in. But I don't know.
The man behind the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm curious if they do that. I mean, where do they go from it? Because
is it the person that I mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is, it's going to be a lot more. Well, can this character flourish in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because you have to think about the other elements to like other characters, other aspects of his like evil doings or whatnot. So will this work at the end? I don't know. But so far it's interesting. Will I watch the rest? I'll probably just wait till all 6 come out and watch it.
I mean, you only got to wait a week, so it's not a big deal. Right.
But am I like excited or like invested in it? Not really. I mean,
well, let me ask you this, because I remember when we had the original conversation after the trailer.
Yeah.
And you were overall pretty meh on it.
Yeah, I was.
But after watching it, did it change your mind a little bit? Like maybe this is a little bit better than I thought it was going to be?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. It is what it is. GQ, did you get to see it?
Yeah. I saw the whole thing.
Okay.
Or the first 3, rather, obviously. I enjoyed it. The part of the show that is the weakest to me is the other part of the squad that she's working with.
The underlings, the Hood's underlings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are slightly stand out. Some of them seem to be a little bit over the top. And again, it's comic book related, so it's supposed to be over the top. It's supposed to be big personalities.
Right.
But I don't know. I like the actor playing the Hood. He does solid work, and I enjoy his portrayal of it so far. And the seem like torment that he's going through carrying that particular artifact, because I'm going to say it's a damn artifact, because we've seen it in What If as well. So far, they're doing okay with it. I like the fact that we get to see more of Riri's personality fleshed out, and a little bit more about her and her family life. I love the fact they brought up Black Obsidian in the first episode, which of course is a slight throw around to Cull Obsidian, which is the original name of what was his name, Black Dwarf or whatever, or something, or something.
Oh, Cull Obsidian, yeah.
Well, that was the name of the actual
of one of the Black Order.
Yeah, Black Order.
Of the Black Order, yeah.
Well, that was the original name. The
Black Obsidian.
No, the Cull Obsidian.
Cull Obsidian, yeah.
It was the original name in the comics.
Yeah.
That was a cool ass name though.
Oh no, absolutely. But like the show itself is fine, and to Fallen's point, it has good pacing so far. It's not. First episode of anything is always going to be world building. You got to introduce people. You got to refresh people that might not remember who the character is and all that, and that's fine. I have zero problem with that. I almost automatically allow a show's first episode to be written off as recap or world build, and that's fine. Second episode, pacing wise, is like, okay, let's get into it, and they go right into the story. So they did a good job with it. The third episode out of the 3 is the best, because that's where most of the stuff happens. You get a good good amount of storytelling and all that sort of thing. Plus, they brought in a character who is very connected to the origin of the MCU. So I'm not going to spoil that, but I like the fact that they went there with that, and
I was very surprised.
Yeah, and they kind of give you that link that for those that have read the comics know that Tony Stark plays a huge part in Riri's story. He's not around anymore, so how are we going to kind of bring that Stark link in? And they did it, and I like how they did it, and it works for me. We'll see what happens with what happened. So we'll see what happens with that. So it's like, okay, he might switch. They might flip a switch on him.
Yeah, so for me, what I would like to say is I only got to see 2 episodes due to circumstances beyond my control. The first 2 episodes, I thought, much like what Fallen said and what you're saying, the pacing I thought was really well done. Contrary to what a lot of the trolls like to say, yes, it's not completely original in that, she's created an iron suit and she's a genius. The difference here is that it's a genius teenage black female, right? And the other thing about this show that is highlighted is that this show is unapologetically black, right? And I think that's what a lot of the negativity comes from, is that people are mad that it's unafraid to be unapologetically black, much like Black Panther was, but they accepted that because it's Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
It's in Africa. They don't have to, feed into any stereotypes or anything like that. And I'm not saying that this show delved into any real stereotypical stuff. I just think that the way they handled everything with Riri, it felt like it was really focused on her. I'm with you with the Hood's goons. They kind of are just window dressing. They're kind of just there. You don't really get to know too much about them, which you probably shouldn't anyway. They're background characters. They're serving their role. Yeah. It's about the Hood. It's about Riri. It's about this other guy out in Ehrenreich who played Han Solo. I think the chemistry between the two of them is really well done. And of course, the whole thing with her best friend, some people are going to feel some kind of way about an AI acting this way, right? And I can understand that, because I think there was points that I even felt like, I don't know if I like this part, because it's different than what we're used to with an AI.
It's like, we need to stop thinking on your own, and you need to freaking help me out.
You think of Jarvis, you think of Friday, and they didn't really act like Natalie does.
They just does exactly what she's supposed to do.
Right. So I think that's, for some people, that might be a little bit of turn off, but we'll get to the other negative side of this thing a little bit later. Megashawn, I want to give you a chance to give your thoughts on it, if you had a chance to see this show at all, to let us know what you thought.
No, I have not had a chance. But with all of you getting much looking today, but I did want to confirm, great Dido, that filming began.
Wow.
It wrapped.
What'd you do to your mic?
Of 2022.
Yeah, what happened to your mic?
I don't know.
Wait,
Are you talking into it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Is there a green light on top of it?
Yeah. Is there a green light on top?
Yeah.
No, on top.
Oh, no.
No.
Is it red?
It might have gotten unplugged.
No, it's just green at the bottom. Now the green is gone.
Oh, yeah, it might have got unplugged.
Oh no!
What you did?
Yeah, so I might have to go and plug him back in a second. More tech support.
Yeah, it looks like it's back. Nope.
No, more tech support.
Which
I got
one
one
was
thing.
What's that?
Well, before the show ends, I have wanted to like touch base on the alternate theory.
You know what? Share that. I'll go fix.
No. I'm gonna wait till the end, and then end of the show, and then give my theory, because like it will like spoil everything that will come to light. So I'm gonna come back to it.
Hold on, but how do you give a predictive theory?
Not
at
a predictive.
the end?
It's not a predictive theory. It's a solution to would be interesting how the show. Well,
it's what you want to see, essentially,
yeah,
right?
What would be cool to see.
I see.
Happen.
I see.
But I want to come back.
I think you are.
Do you feel like
But
this?
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like he's good.
Yeah.
It looks like he's good. Just say something now.
Testing.
You're back.
Yeah,
You're back.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, no, I think I would like to come back to it like when the show ends, and then
When we're off the air.
No, we can do it.
Oh, okay.
Air. We can do it on.
I mean, because once we move past this,
I think he's talking about next week when it's done.
When it's done. Yeah,
gotcha.
When it's done.
Got you. I'll remember that next week.
I'll definitely remember it.
Okay.
Like,
all right. Bet.
All right.
Okay. No, that's all
what
good.
you were saying.
Yeah. So my apologies. So filming began June of 2022. Filming wrapped in November of 2022, and then based off of reshoots, they had to delay the reshoots because of the SAG and the after strike.
Oh yeah.
But the show was done by November of 2022.
Damn.
I kind of wish.
So
it
so they sat on it for almost 3 years.
But I think
not a big
also,
fan of that.
I think they also sat on it not only because of the strikes thing, but also because it would have been out of place to set. Because remember, they locked everything down when Deadpool Wolverine came out. That's the only thing we're releasing this entire year, because they needed to course correct. And I think this got thrown into that whole batch of course correction, because if you would have just suddenly had that come out and it just floating out there, people would have completely forgot about it, especially if it ties to something that's coming up.
Very
you know
true.
what?
Yeah, please, somebody address Eric.
Eric Howie, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your first comment. I'm glad you're watching the show. And I love this comment right here. It says, "You're joking, right? The plot is terrible, right?"
What do you mean?
You gotta ask him why.
I want to ask him why, but there's an important thing I need to say before he offers his more measured critique. See, the negativity surrounding this show from the usual suspects, and I call them the usual suspects because whenever there's any project that has to do with a minority of a sort, whether it be LGBTQ, whether it be a female, whether it be a person of color, they always come out and they have something negative to say. And it's always a very bland blanket statement. Critique is like, the show is woke, or the plot is terrible, or nobody asked for this, so on and so forth. So to help you out, Eric, you and other people out there, just in general, we've got 5 rules for you to critique a show. To not portray yourself as potentially being the R word. I'm not going to say it because I know it triggers some people when I say it. The R word. If you don't want to be the R word, you can't say these things. Okay, so rule number 1. You are not allowed to say the show is woke. You are not allowed to. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. Let me be 100% authentic when I'm saying this to you guys. And this is from earlier today. We talked about it in the group chat. We said rule number 1: you cannot say a show is woke just because it has a person of color, LGBTQ, or a woman. If your critique has that, it's without merit. Rule number 2: you cannot critique it for having race swaps or anything like that. Those things are just blanket statements that have nothing to do with the quality of the show, whether it's being written, whether it's being acted, or anything like that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Rule number 3: you cannot say that the show is that the show is not written in a way, especially before it comes out. You say it's poorly written. You have to enunciate. You have to say exactly what it is that you do not like about a show. Just to say it's blanketly poorly written, that doesn't tell you. That doesn't say anything. It says nothing. Absolutely nothing. Rule number. Hold on a sec. Let's see. Rule number 4: it's unoriginal or it's cloning an already existing character. There's not a lot of things that are original out here. If you haven't been paying attention, there's not a whole lot of originality out there in Hollywood, is there? Help me out, fellas. Is there anything really original left in Hollywood anymore?
I've been told there's only 7 plots, and I forget what they call it over the time. So you got to take one of those 7 and either merge them or blah blah blah. So it's kind of hard to do things that are what you say original,
correct,
anymore.
Go ahead.
No, what's number 5?
Number 5 is you cannot say no one asked for this show.
Yeah,
no one asked for anything.
Exactly.
Nobody asked for Iron Man before Iron Man came out. They just did it.
Sure didn't.
No,
The same thing for Madam Web.
Nobody gave 2 shits about Iron Man.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The question. Yeah.
So Eric says that Riri goes from wanting to be a hero and barely needs to be encouraged to become a criminal. Now, I haven't watched the show yet, but by definition, isn't Spider-Man a criminal?
He's
by
vigilante.
definition, yes, because he's vigilante.
But he does want to be a hero.
No. Go ahead.
I'm asking because I haven't watched
No,
the show.
I understand.
Real quick, without spoiling anything, she wants to do good. She has no money to do it at all.
Gotcha.
And nobody's given, well, I won't say given, they gave her a chance. She kind of fucked up their chance.
For sure.
And she's like, okay, how can I do this and get some money? And somebody came to her and basically says, you know, we can help you out with your endeavors because we know who you are.
Right.
We can help you out with your endeavors. You're going to be our tech person. And that's kind of how she gets put into this situation. She didn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a criminal and I'm going to make lots of money. That was not her intention at
but
all.
essentially, she was doing whatever to make money to help people.
Do money to build her suit to keep her suit going.
Gotcha. So this is, in a way, this is what makes Riri as a character relatable, right?
Yeah.
Because when you are coming from a underprivileged background where you are unproven, you don't have any money. She knows she's not comparing herself to Tony Stark, but she knows she has an intellect like a Tony Stark. But the difference is she doesn't have the money. So what do you do when you're at MIT and you have this amazing idea and you want to create something? But even with the Tony Stark grant that she was afforded at MIT, she burned through all that money, right? So she has to find ways to make money. So she breaks the rules.
So I mean,
right?
Does it give away the plot if y'all tell me what she was doing?
No, it would. No, it was
basically selling.
She was selling ideas
of homework, whatever. She was helping people with their what you call it, and selling it to them.
She was doing academic fraud.
Yeah, basically,
essentially, she was doing academic fraud.
This is what this man is calling her a criminal for.
No,
not that.
It's because when she goes back home,
later.
she gets kicked.
This is later.
Right. So what is the criminal?
The criminal stuff is when she gets.
He needs to go beyond what he said.
Well,
that's what we're addressing. But go ahead.
I'm trying
to
figure out what the criminal stuff is.
It was basically just when she returned back home after getting kicked out. She was trying to get some stuff to build her suit. She was going to try to talk to the guy to let her get it because somebody she knew, and somebody basically came up to her, paid for it, and says, "Hey, if you want to make money like this, come to this spot." And so she goes to the spot, and they do a test on her to see how she's going to get out of this situation. And then they tell her what's going on. They said, "We want you to be the tech person in our group." And we're going around robbing rich people.
So in essence,
she kind of knows what she's doing.
Let me.
She's Robin Hood.
Well, stop. Well, it's not that, right? I think what we're dealing with here is the time-honored trope of the seduction of easy money.
Yeah,
that's what this is. She's desperate to get cash because she knows she wants to prove herself and say that her ideas and things like that are going to be worthy, right? To be known in the world. She wants to make something, to be known for something. She basically proved that her stepfather's investment in her is worth it.
For sure.
Right? Because she's feeding off of that trauma, that desperation, that hunger to do something, she's going to break the rules to do what she needs to do in order to fulfill her goals. The world is full of people that do a lot of bad things for the right reasons.
And the world is full of people that do bad things for their reasons.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's not one of those people.
I mean, but this, I just, never mind. Go ahead.
I think the other. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if my man watched the show, if you would have seen her reaction at the end of the third episode, you see that she's in a huge conflict of what the hell she's doing.
Right. Yeah. But even when she signed up for it, she knew these people were bad people.
Yeah. She was just like, I can get this money and get out of here.
I just get this money and I can wash my hands of that.
I think the other thing you have to understand is she didn't necessarily. When did she ever say that she wanted to be a hero?
She never said that. She just said she wanted to make something.
Even if you look at Wakanda Forever, and in Wakanda Forever, she was very reluctant to even go because it was like, hold on, my science project has got me in all this trouble. Now you're saying this dude out here wanting to kill me. Okay, you take me to Wakanda, great. Mind blown. She meets a very kindred spirit in Shuri and all that other sort of thing. Sees the lab, sees all the super advanced tech. That's great. At the end of the day, she kind of was forced into that final fight in the film because you were there. It's like this dude tried to kill you basically because he was trying to kill the queen.
So again, right? So to Eric's point, her conflict should have been immediate when someone got shot. Her conflict was immediate when someone got shot. She felt really. She felt some kind of way when that happened. 100%.
Okay, hold on. But he's saying I want to help people, build suits to help people. Okay, here's the thing. That doesn't make you a hero. That also makes you an entrepreneur.
Correct.
That doesn't make the thing that people have to understand is morality and all that other sort of thing are surface level in a lot of shows. At the end of the day, she was trying to make a name for herself.
Correct.
That's a pride thing. That's not necessarily altruistic, trying to be great and all that other sort of thing. Yes, she has some noble intentions tied to it, building suits to help people. That doesn't make her a hero.
Right.
It just makes her somebody that's an inventor.
Yeah,
and
she's got an idea and I want to put this out there.
Right. Now, for example, if I had all of that tech, that knowledge, and all this sort of thing, guess guarantees people are going to die all around me. Villain with zero,
but you're different.
With zero intent.
Yeah, you're different than her.
Like me and the hood would be like best friends.
Oh
be
my
like,
God,
I'm just being real because it's like
but
to
you're being
me,
honest. Yes,
yeah,
you're
I'm just
being honest.
real.
Yeah.
But to me, there's no conflict there. I don't care about hurting other people if you're going to give me gobs of money.
Correct.
That's fine with me.
Right.
With her, it was, I need this money because I want to do this suit. This is the only way I'm going to get these suits done. It's not necessarily her trying to follow a heroic path. She just, her goal in her mind right now, and if, again, you see it to that point, especially like Dado said in that third episode, she's starting to understand the consequences of her actions and what she's doing going on this path. You got to let the 6 episodes play out.
And again, this is like what we've been saying, Eric, and you've been great, putting your comments in. You haven't been snarky or anything like that. It is genuine dialogue, and we don't get enough of that in the fandom nowadays, right? So we appreciate you, making these comments and basically spurring on the conversation. What you have to understand is that the seduction of easy money, the quick and easy path, like Yoda wanted to say, is the easy path to the dark side. It holds true in real life in Star Wars and fantasy. Taking shortcuts usually gets you a quick result, but ultimately gets you into trouble. Riri just didn't want to take the long path. She wanted to get it done. She wanted to do it.
And let's not forget the man who she idolized. Father was a warlord.
100%.
And technically up until he built this in a cave. Up until that happened, he was he.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So
he had no moral compunctions about selling weapons that killed people. Until they were turned on him.
Exactly.
Correct.
So to judge her path from 3 episodes. Again, I haven't watched,
right?
But
right. I mean, you'll understand it when you watch it. The show is quality, and I think a lot of people don't look at things from a surface level, from they see the packaging is wrapped in, and immediately just dismiss it because it's like, oh, this is not going to be good because I'm expecting stereotypes, right? The show is actually very quality. It's not saying that it's without its flaws, right? Because it definitely has that, right? But to say for certain that the show is trash even before it even came out, I can't engage with people that argue on bad faith.
But make it clear that you're not accusing Eric of that.
No, I'm definitely not, because it doesn't seem like he's arguing with good faith. He's saying, I've watched the show, and he's bringing up topics that are related to the show. He is not saying anything about, it's because it's woke, it's because it's got a person of color, it's because it's got a woman, it's got, all this other kind of stuff, or that she's a clone. It's literally stuff about the show that he has problems with.
Highlight that one real quick.
Right, which one?
That one right there. Yeah. First off, Hammer Tech is gone because Hammer's in jail.
Yep. Correct.
AIM is gone because Killian is dead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Iron Man 3.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. ain't what S.H.I.E.L.D. used to be like.
Right, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist.
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not around.
Right.
And again,
maybe Sword.
Yeah, Sword possibly, but that's outer space.
Yeah.
The reality of this show is self-contained.
Correct.
It's going to have mentions to outside MCU stuff, but like anything, it's self-contained.
And again,
guess what? Spider-Man, if he has Thor on speed dial, you guess how short all his episodes would be.
And Eric, to answer about this one, how she doesn't even try to shop herself around the tech world, it's because she doesn't want to work for anybody else. She wants to be her own person.
Yeah, because you work on somebody else, you're doing what they want.
You're creating things for them. She wants to create things for herself.
And morally, if you lease yourself out to the highest bidder, you're going to be a warlord as well.
Correct.
Yeah, Tony Stark 2.0.
Yes, sir.
But as you were saying, talking about Spider-Man having Thor on speed dial, everyone has Thor on speed dial.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. None of these shows would happen if you brought the top tier Avengers in every single time something
because it would be
off.
about them at that point.
Like there would be no show. Like for example, if she was brought, because again, Pepper Potts is still around.
Yeah.
If she was brought into Stark, what conflict you're gonna have? Now she's right there doing what she wants to do. No story. End of everything.
And let's also face the reality of the narrative that has been established with Riri Williams. She is someone whose tech has already been co-opted by the U.S. government to harm foreign nations.
Yep.
She's also had multiple demerits in her MIT academic career, meaning that she is a brilliant person, but she comes with baggage. A lot of people in the tech world, they're not willing to take risks like that. And especially after she got expelled from MIT, that's a scarlet letter.
You know what I think is kind of jacked up though, if you think about it. That was her suit. She built her suit.
She did.
And they had their thing lock her out. I was like, that's kind of some jacked up shit.
Right. It was her grant money that paid for it.
Yeah.
And they still ultimately was like, nope, this is ours.
Yeah, but the whole the red tape of it all is a Stark Foundation thing given to MIT to disperse amongst so technically it's still property of MIT in that sense, because under that umbrella, that's how all this, again, it's movie, it's a lot of legalese. It's legalese, it's movie legalese at that. You can't have everything just be a phone call away, because otherwise, where's the conflict of the show going to be?
What was that saying that I said again? I forgot.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody wants to do that anymore. You got to go in and just watch. You got to go in and watch this stuff and take the story as is, because exactly how GQ said and everybody else. Oh, hey, there's a problem. Hey, Thor.
No. You have to do that.
Oh, it's just like
no, seriously.
Yeah, but I'm just with saying that it's just it's that, and I don't know.
It's like, okay, perfect analogy. Yeah. When that stuff was going down in Daredevil, right? The first thing everybody says, "Well, where's Spider-Man?
Where's Spider-Man? Where's Spider-Man?" like, whose show is this?
Right, yeah, exactly, man.
It's Daredevil's show, not Spider-Man.
It's like Kingpin's taking over. Where's Spider-Man? I wonder what he's doing.
Now, let me ask you a question. I don't read comic books as much as all you, and I have to say this every episode, because I am not going to be one of those people that put up a front that says, I know comic books and I'm about to spout some shit. No, I don't. But in the Daredevil comic books, I said Daredevil. How often do people cross over to just out of nowhere? Just, Spider-Man, it's a Daredevil book. It's not a crossover book. It's not like, everybody. It's
Big
Daredevil slapped on there in this story. He's out there doing his Daredevil stuff, and just Peter Parker or Spider-Man just comes swinging through like, hi, Daredevil, let me help you out with your freaking conflict that you're having here. How often does that happen?
So if it's an event.
No, I didn't say that.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Events away.
Listen to what I'm saying. If it's an event that happens citywide in the Daredevil run, then you'll get crossovers. Like there was times when Fisk was the mayor and he pulled this same stunt. Spider-Man got involved. Luke Cage was there. Jessica Jones was there. Iron Fist was there.
And it was a Daredevil slapped on their comic.
It was a Daredevil book, and it stayed in Daredevil's book. It didn't cross over into anybody else's book. It stayed in his. It was his event.
Okay.
And he was the focal point.
Eric has responded to the Hammer Tech.
Okay, so Hammer Tech's still a thing. All right,
yeah, but Justin Hammer, I think, is still in.
Yeah, Justin Hammer's
still, right?
Justin Hammer's still in jail. But what I'm saying is, and again, Hammer Tech may be a thing. Maybe Hammer Tech will get involved. We haven't got there yet. We're only 3 episodes in.
Right.
But time out. Sorry.
Go ahead.
She doesn't care about Justin Hammer. She likes Tony Stark. That is her idol. So would you, if you like cars, Ford, for example, are you gonna go work for GM when you love Fords? No. You're gonna try to work for Ford.
Well, I think the other thing too, Eric, to use your example, I think what you also have to understand too is you're projecting what you think theoretically should happen in the comic book world, but also you're discounting that they are trying to weave a story and it's focused on this one character. You completely misunderstand that Riri Williams does not want to go work for someone else. She wants to create her own thing. She's not going to go, because again, when she got kicked out of MIT, she could have gone over to Stark if she wanted to, but she didn't want to do that.
She could have gone anywhere.
It's just like, hey, I recreated an Iron Man. I essentially reverse engineered an Iron Man suit that nobody else has been able to do, mind you.
Well, the thing is,
not using an arc reactor.
And not using arc reactor.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's this one reactor, Christian, I believe it's Karloff is his last name, on YouTube, and they kept.
Christian Harloff.
Yeah, Harloff. Thank you. And during their reaction, they kept saying, "Well, why doesn't she call the Wakandans?" It's like, okay, it's like you do that, and then the story goes a completely different way. So it's like you gotta just let the story play out the way it's gonna play out. There's nothing wrong with asking questions, absolutely, but any of those questions where it's just like, well, why don't you do just this exact thing? It's like, well, that maybe she will, maybe she won't. We got to wait until all 6 episodes have aired to see what happens.
And morally, Eric, you're still hanging yourself up on, you're almost self-inserting what your moral red line is, right? You're saying, why didn't she try and go do this instead of just running to crime? Because you don't have a wad of cash being waved in your face. Literally saying, hey, do this for me. I'll give you this money so you can accomplish your goal.
Yeah, but the thing is, what you're saying is the reason why she doesn't do exactly, if anything, because you nor him wrote the story. And they're writing this story the way that they're writing a story in order to create a story with a beginning, middle and end, with a conflict and a resolution, how they see put. Now, if you do not agree with that, by all means, you don't have to agree with it. And that's how stories are made.
Right.
Most of the time, it's one individual person. Sometimes in a TV show, you have a group of people doing it. But they are coming up with a story that they think will entertain people. It's supposed to be entertaining. You're not supposed to be living your, basing your life and questioning, you know, philosophies. I mean, you can.
I'll tell you, before you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But what you're saying is like the people that, you know, the story is written how it's written.
The story is what it is.
I'll take an analogy from the great Stanley. Everyone asks him the question, who wins in a fight? It's whoever I write it to win, who I want to win. That's basically what this story is. This story is like whatever happens is being written by the director, by the producer or the director of the story.
Whoever.
This story hasn't even. We were 3 episodes in.
Right.
I just say let it play out.
And this is coming from a man that is overall meh on the show.
Meh.
Like literally, he's like, I don't really care about the show, but at the same time, I know it's not being driven by my own emotional projection. It is be driven by what the writers want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. To answer Hannah Omega's question, MIT is the school that Peter Parker and their friends were trying to get into.
Correct.
At the end of it, of course, not Mary Jane, but Michelle.
Jane.
No,
Michelle. Michelle.
And Ned both got in, and of course Peter is
poor Peter is just left behind.
Yeah, he's going to what is he going to NYU Community College?
My goodness, that is a great segue. The news about John Bernthal being cast as the Punisher in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Megatron, let's start with you because you've been over there and you've been kind of quiet.
Great.
But
no, but it's the Punisher.
It's PG-13.
Listen. We watched. I don't know, 15 people get eaten by a dinosaur, and that movie was PG-13. So I'm sure the House of the Mouse can figure out a way to keep him being him while also not earning the R.
Yep.
Okay. Simon Says, what you think?
Cool, but yeah, I kind of hoping Megatron says might work, but hell, if it becomes rated R, I don't care.
I mean, a rated R Spider-Man thing, I don't think that's going to ever happen. Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. Yeah.
One can only hope.
Dido?
I don't get it.
You don't get it.
Punisher in Spider-Man?
Yeah, I don't get it.
You do get it. He called on the phone and he showed up.
He be like,
hey, Spider-Man, you need my help?
There you go.
Hey, buddy, I got some AK-47s.
Oh my God!
Hey, Spider-Man.
No, seriously. What don't you get?
I don't get it. What I don't get is Spider-Man hero, Punisher anti-hero. Punisher does what Punisher want to do when they want to. You bad guy, I see you a bad guy, boom, kill you. So Punisher is Spider-Man and Punisher butting heads. Yeah. Are they going to be heads for half of the movie and then be like, oh, this guy's a good guy. I mean, I'm going to help him out instead of try to kill him.
Next year.
That's
like, we got a whole year.
Next year.
We got a whole year.
I know, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I don't get it. Why is the Punisher there? Is the Punisher going after somebody and Spider-Man is trying to stop the Punisher? Of course we don't know that yet, but that's what I mean. I don't get it.
They're going to have the Jackal in the movie.
So that actually feeds into GQ. What do you think? What do you think? Before I go ahead.
I'm in the same camp of this is pulling direct from when Punisher first showed. There you go. Punisher first showed up in a Spider-Man comic, so they could easily be recreating that.
Oh, he was.
Eric's got it.
Spider-Man,
that was his first appearance.
Yeah, Spider-Man is back to ground zero. Spider-Man is truly a street level hero again. No tech, no extra anything. So it's going to be. This is going to give you an opportunity to tell some of them old Spider-Man, because and again that goes back to your question about when do they have crossovers and stuff like that. Back in the comic book days, back in when we were all coming up, 80s, 90s. You knew it was going to be a guest appearance because guess what? Slapped on there, featuring usually with their logo font or whatever from their book or whatever. Spider-Man is showing up in blah blah blah. So it's like it was, you know, even one of the first Daredevil books I had like the guest appearance by the Bengal or whatever the hell it was. So I mean, it's like they would let you know because they know they want you to buy the book.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does happen. But like you said, it's more or less usually in events. It's usually big team up something or whatever. So, you know, expecting a show to suddenly have all that cross, it's like, look, we got spoiled in 10 years worth of extremely expensive films. Let's just be real. All of those movies cost a lot of money to bring all them actors together. And I couldn't even imagine how much Avengers Endgame and Infinity War on paper cost before they even started filming with all them contracts and whatnot. So it's like, there's a logistical back part of this where it's like, look, man, you're going to tell a small story. You're going to keep all these other people out of it because you got to try to tell that story. Otherwise, you get lost in guest appearances.
So my belief is that, much like Eric, said, do you think Punisher is going to be hunting down Spidey? I do, because we have to remember, where is Spidey now after we left him in No Way Home?
Broke.
He is broke. He has been painted by J. Jonah Jameson as a criminal and murderer of supposedly one of the world's greatest heroes, Mysterio. So he is an outlaw of outlaws.
Time out.
Go ahead.
Though I remember that happening, did not happen before and nobody remembers Peter Parker.
Yes,
right.
they don't remember Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
They remember Spider-Man.
But they know Spider-Man murdered Mysterio.
Correct.
So they just forgot about Peter himself.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
The original spell was everybody is going to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Then he kept trying to add all of that. Can Michelle remember? Can my aunt remember? Can Ned remember? And then he kept messing the spell up. So that's when it broke out. I was like, skip it.
Okay.
Everybody that knows Spider-Man come to this universe. That's how that original spell
so
got
they
messed
forgot
up.
Peter Parker, period, but they didn't forget Spider-Man. And they weren't supposed to forget Peter Parker. They were supposed to forget Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
No, the reason
was the original.
No, that was the original spell.
Was the original.
The second spell that he had him cast, he was like, because it was like, they're coming and I can't stop them. All these people are breaking in through all these different universes. He was like, make everybody forget
me.
Gotcha.
And he, boom, across all multiverses, as far as we know, nobody knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. It's just there is a Spider-Man.
Nobody really knows Peter Parker.
I forgot who's Peter
question.
Parker.
Quick question. You said that everybody that knows Spider-Man is in that universe?
Everybody that knew Peter Parker.
Everybody that knew Peter Parker is
Spider-Man
was coming into the 616 universe, basically, or whatever they
Except for
consider.
Jamie Foxx, he didn't know.
Yeah.
Well,
so I mean, so we've got the rumor out there that, maybe we'll be seeing Bruce Banner's Hulk in this movie. Some people were saying it's like, oh, well, would Punisher be hunting down the Hulk? Let's be for real.
He tried.
Let's be for real.
What you mean be for real?
Let's be for real. The Punisher hunting the Hulk? Come on.
Hey,
let's be for real.
Listen, man, he might have bigger guns than old Thunderbolt.
Yo, man, come on now. Come on now.
What about Kraven? Could Kraven take down a Hulk?
No.
Hell no.
What?
But
Was that a serious question?
But I wouldn't want to see Kraven and Spider-Man.
Kraven is supposed to be able to take down the most powerful, bear.
A
What
bear.
A bear.
Okay,
Not the Hulk.
Darren, I give you this. He can probably outsmart him and probably figure a way to get him to calm down.
yeah, for a couple seconds.
A couple seconds. But after that, it's like
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's like
Knives ain't gonna work on the Hulk.
Well,
Bullets
no,
ain't gonna work on the Hulk. Rockets ain't gonna work on the Hulk. Well, what's he got?
No, it's gonna be like, at this point, he knew he fucked up.
Yeah,
exactly.
He would throw Kraven to New Jersey.
Yes, he would. No, he would throw him like Gladiator through Juggernaut.
He just wanted to just whip him across the world or whatever.
Man, where'd you go? One of the funniest things ever.
I went on a trip.
I love the fact that they had Juggernaut walk back underwater.
Yeah, underwater.
The ocean.
Yeah,
He was
I
just
thought that was
punching
great.
sharks and whatnot. my man was coming back for revenge.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
was. That was awesome.
That X-Men
That was
cartoon.
awesome. All right,
man. I can't wait.
It is after 10. We're gonna have to wrap up the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's been great. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us over this past hour. Been some great comments in the chat. Eric Howley, thank you very much. King to King, thank you very much. MK Pryor, Hand of Omega, Other Steve, Fallen, Amarok. It's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you all. Make sure you come back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Go over to the YouTube community where I posted the same graphic that we were debating, and leave your comments there and kind of get the chat going about that. And also, follow us on TikTok, tiktok.com/culturejunkies.
Also, I think Eric's last question was about whether or not Punisher and Spider-Man might be hunting down the Sinister Six. I still think that's tied up in Sony.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think we're going to get that.
Can we get a proper Craven, please?
No.
Please, can we get a proper?
Maybe I'll watch that tomorrow. Maybe.
Please,
no.
No.
Check it out.
We did get a proper Craven.
It's not.
It's not that.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, check
What
it
about
out.
Madam Web? Shall I watch that one?
That's that bad.
Yeah, Madam Web is definitely a bad, not a good
But
experience.
to your point, we did get a proper Craven, but it was in a video game.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yes, we
the
did.
Craven in the video game was perfect.
Oh, he was
but
perfect.
And again, we've talked about that before. They announced the Craven movie at the same time that game came out. I was like, why can't we have this dude? Like,
That was kind of embarrassing,
It was,
though.
and again,
It was
nothing
kind of-
against the guy that played Craven in the film. He
No,
did all right.
He was perfectly cast, but the writing wasn't where it should have been.
Yeah. Oh, see, Punisher beat the Hulk. It's canon.
All
And
right.
this time it's legal.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for joining us. Come back next week for my friends, the Great Atakuji GQ, Simon Says, and Megashawn. I'm Kenshiro. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye-bye.